Hey, what it do? It's your boy Supremacy the God, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to leave a like, comment, to subscribe, and all that gang shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the video, leave a dislike, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But first, I want to talk about Jiho, ho, 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 ho. And I want to talk about Olly Wong. It's sad time still, man. Olly Wong still makes me very sad. Spoilers alert. Just to let you know, guys, big, massive spoilers alert. If you're not caught up with these chapters, bro, if you're not in Fast Pass, bro, you're gonna be spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So this is for the Fast Pass fans only. You know what I'm saying? But once you catch up, you can come back to this video. It's still gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to spoil too much. So it's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? I won't. Actually, if you're not Fast Pass, it should be okay. I'll have yeah, actually no, I can't. I have to spoil it, sorry. So basically what happens? Let me close the door. So you know, somebody asked. No, there was actually if supposedly, you know, shout out to my comment section on the Lookism gang. Big brains and big heart. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with y'all guys heavy. There was a conversation about Olly Wong and Jiho and if they're similar or dissimilar. I said I'd cover the video. I'm sorry for the lateness. I was a little lazy the past day. I think it's a day I missed, maybe two, I don't know, but I was a little bit lazy. I still dropped videos, but I was just a little bit tired and lazy. So I wanted to like discuss it, right? Olly Wong and Jiho seem to be very similar, but I think people forget the massive key differences between them. Now, they're both very polarizing characters, but in quite differing ways, right? Jiho is a manipulator. Olly Wong isn't. Right? Think about it. Jiho is a manipulator, Olly Wong isn't. So I'm going to start with Jiho. And I'm going to explain Jiho thoroughly as much as possible. And then I'm going to jump to Olly Wong and explain him thoroughly. And then hopefully you guys can draw the lines and see the differences. And dot out the X's and the O's. You know, fun. Okay, so first of all, Jiho had friends. Like real friends. You know what I'm saying? Jiho had real friends. He got bullied, but never as severely as any of the guys. I don't need Olly didn't really get bullied either, but just in comparison, he didn't get bullied that badly. He wasn't Fat Daniel bullied. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of bullied. Definitely bullied. Like, look, bullying is bullying, right? He was bullied. But when Daniel came along, right, and, you know, shout out Juke and all that. Juke, first of all, was his first real friend was Juke. His second real friend was Fat Daniel. And both of these guys were trying to improve themselves, right? And not just blame everybody else for the outcomes of their lives. They were trying to become better versions of themselves. They dealt with the same situation, sometimes worse, right? And sometimes Jiho would sell them out. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? He would sell them out just for the sake of it. And you know, if Jiho had the opportunity to turn around and bully Juke and Fat Daniel because it put him in a higher status, I'm almost positive he would have. Jiho was always a little bit, I always had a little bit of a loose screw. You know what I'm saying? In a different way than Olly always had a little bit of a loose screw, right? So when, you know, even Zach, his initial bully, that he wanted to like try to impress and be cool and cool, you know what I'm saying, and butter up to, when Zach accepted him and actually, you know, realized his wrongs and went out of his way to help him and went out of his way to protect him, he was so fucking ungrateful about it. And he was just spiteful because he wanted to become close to Jake because Jake was this big thing, this big cool thing. So he wanted to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be a part of that. And he didn't care if they were using him for money. He just wanted to be a part of the cool gang. That was always Jiho's motivation. He wanted to be with the coolest. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be one of those guys with a cigarette, stepping on people's faces. Like, he wanted to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Olly didn't want to be that guy. And I'll explain. It sounds like he did, but he really didn't, right? So that's Jiho, right? And then he obviously got super jealous of Daniel, who befriended him and was only ever nice to him, right? This is not a guy that did anything negative to him, right? There was no negative connotation, no negative anything that Daniel did to him, and yet he got jealous the fact that Daniel was cool, Daniel was strong, Daniel had friends, even though he had friends too. Daniel was all these things that he wanted to be, right? And he felt like if I get rid of him, I have a higher opportunity to climb up to the ladder. You know what I'm saying? With him here, he's just too attractive. He's too tall. He's too this. He's too everything. He was giving himself excuses from the jump. You know what I'm saying? He always gave himself excuses for all his actions, for all his things. He never took blame for any of his actions. Whenever he fucked up or did something wrong, he'd blame somebody else. Okay? So obviously that leads to him trying to murder Daniel. And then, you know, when he went to jail, obviously that completely broke him. But I don't really buy that that was the needle that broke the camel's back, because he already tried to commit murder. He already tried to push, and he tried to kill 2 people. You know what I'm saying? He pushed both these motherfuckers out the window. You know what I'm saying? He legit tried to commit murder over some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, we can say, oh no, the jail really changed him. Nah, Jiho is a psychopath, like completely. He was a psychopath the moment, like, he became a psychopath the moment he pushed Daniel, or the moment he thought about pushing Daniel. And the fact that he did it, just completely a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? He's jealous, bro. He's a jealous, like, envious person. Gluttony. And gluttony. What the fuck am I saying? Gluttony. That's food, bro. I'm so stupid. You know, we try to use them big words, try to smell smart. You know, conglomeration. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. That's Jiho in a nutshell. Now, is there some negative? I mean, he still got bullied at home. His parents treated him fucking well. They gave him money. He was rich, which he got robbed a lot of his money. But he always had the best clothes. He was always fed. Like, he had it, really, to be honest. And by that stage that he turned evil, maybe it was because he was all pent up from long years of being bullied and long years of trying to be cool. But to be honest, half the time he wouldn't have been bullied if he didn't try to join the crews. You know what I'm saying? If he just hung out with the Jukes and the other guys, he wouldn't have been nearly as bullied as he was, the way he was just trying to jump into any cool crew that he saw and then getting used and abused and spat out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing about it. Like, he put himself in most of those situations because he wasn't, like, nerdy enough that people would just randomly fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, people tried to protect him. Vasco tried to protect him. Like, so many people were on his side. Like, and he just didn't appreciate nor see the value in it. On the other hand, Olly was different, right? Olly wasn't bullied, actually, interestingly. If you look back, he was never really bullied. He was just a nice kid who went to school and he felt no real emotions. He never really felt emotions, right? So obviously when it creeped up on him, he didn't know how to react or properly like process it, right? His family was too strict. They expected too much expectation here. He was under pressure by everybody. His friends wanted him to skip school. His parents wanted him to only do school. He never made decisions for himself. Other people were always telling him, do this, do that, do this, do that. And that was his whole life. So home and school, there was no escape, right? Jiho was similar in terms of home. Home, he had an escape, to be honest, because his parents let him do whatever the fuck he wanted. They gave him money, all that shit. Outside of school, he had friends that, like, actually cared and valued for him. And within school, he began and he started to get friends that valued and also cared about him outside of Fat Daniel and Juke. Right? So it's one of those situations where it's like this guy Jiho had all the tools in his possession to not turn bad, but he did anyway. You know what I'm saying? Olly, on the other hand, he had one special tool, but he did it again because he never really felt stuff. He didn't process it correctly and he perverted it and idolized the wrong thing. So again, Olly's house life was not great. Even though he had money, he had stuff like that, he felt alienated because he was just being told what to do. He never got to make decisions by himself. And that was driving him crazier and crazier and crazier. You know what I'm saying? Heather was the only person that didn't ask anything over him. Didn't, you know what I'm saying? She didn't make him do anything. Just asked if he wants to do something. Oh, come with me. If not, it's gang. Like, she was always like the first real legit person to him. You know what I'm saying? So when Heather started hanging out with Eli, I think Olly was jealous, but again, because he doesn't know feelings, he doesn't understand feelings, he didn't understand at the time. I think he was jealous that his friend was giving all his attention to this Eli kid, right? And this Eli kid was vicious and raw and free. He idolized that part of him. He idolized the fact that he was free and wild and did whatever he wanted. He did whatever it took to survive. He did whatever it took to protect. This is important, to protect his, right? And in many ways, without Olly probably realizing it or processing it properly, he probably felt that Heather was his only real thing. You know what I'm saying? But he just didn't, like, he didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you never, like, it's hard to explain, like, but I think if you read it, you should hopefully get what I'm trying to get to. If not, comment down below and I'll try to explain it better. Because right now I'm just, I think this is the best I can explain it for now. You know what I'm saying? So Olly, because of that, seeing Eli being free and wild, and then seeing Heather infatuated with that guy, you know, he wanted to be that guy. So if you think about this, he wanted to be the guy that Heather was infatuated by. You know what I'm saying? So that should kind of tell you, and this was maybe a small hint. I don't know if it was on purpose or if he thought about it later, but it was a very smart hint at the fact that this is a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was very hard to tell at the time, the way it all pulled in full circle, mwah, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he tried to become like Eli. And then he saw Heather was trying to change this Eli, right? And we're going to continue that part of it in a second. But first of all, this is the problem with Olly here. So at home, he didn't have it great. At school, he had Heather, but everybody else not great. And then he meets this group of misfits with Eli, Warren Che, and Sally Park, right? And they're all runaway fams, or they all start living, you know, a certain lifestyle. Heather was cool though. She had a home. She was balling. She was gang. You know what I'm saying? And remember, it was Sally Park's home initially, and Warren Che came through because he really liked Sally Park, and Eli came through because they all bonded. You know what I'm saying? Heather never seen herself as a runaway fam to that degree, because she had a home and she was pretty happy at home. Well, she wasn't super happy. Her mother was fucking a psychopath, but she tried to escape that in a way, but she didn't want Eli to be this monster free person that's just all over and wild and vicious. She tried to tame a beast, you know what I'm saying? And she was succeeding. And think about this, right? Heather likes this beast guy. Olly's trying to be this beast guy. Now Heather is trying to change this beast guy into somebody docile. And Olly just doesn't know how to compute that cross of information. Like, what the fuck? Don't change my idol. Don't change who I'm trying to become. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he didn't know this, but I think he might have tried to become like Eli because Heather liked what Eli was. You know what I'm saying? And was so infatuated with what Eli was. So he didn't get why she was trying to change him. I think in a way he felt like she was controlling Eli the way everybody has been controlling him, right? And he didn't like that. So he wanted to break them apart by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? He wanted Eli to continue being wild and a beast, and he wanted to become like that as well in order maybe to attract Heather. This is a possibility. This is just conjecture, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now, interestingly as well, within the runaway fams and that friendship, Olly wasn't really accepted by Warren, Sally, or by Eli. You know what I'm saying? He was never really accepted because they felt like everybody else, like even Heather wasn't really runaway fam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, it was like this. Everybody else, it was like, they had no parents. They lived outside in the streets. They've been street kids. So that's why they did that. On the other hand, Heather and Olly were not like that. I think Olly would have been probably accepted if he accepted that himself, that he wasn't one of them in that way. You know what I'm saying? But because he kept trying to live like that and even robbed his own parents' house and did these crazy things, they were just like, man, this guy, man, what is he doing? Like, he has it good. Like, why is he destroying everything he has. But from his perspective, he was like, these are finally the people that I want to be like. I want to be a part of this group of people who get to do whatever they want and nobody tells them what to do anymore. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be free like them. So why won't they accept me to be free like them? Why are they pushing me back to a place where I'm like a prisoner? You know what I'm saying? Why won't they? Like, I was a part of the group too. I'm a part of the team too. Why is everybody overlooking me? You know what I'm saying? And that's what led him to create the action, to react the way he did and betray Heather. You know, and him not being accepted fully and embraced by them really hurt him. So it caused him to betray Heather. Unfortunately, poor Heather. And because of, you know, that betrayal, he obviously, you know, that betrayal that he did, which is basically Heather told him that she's pregnant, and obviously he thought that she was lying just to try to get to Eli. And on top of that, Olly told the police about the runaway fam and where they lived and all that shit, and therefore the police and obviously Heather's mom came through and crazy shit happens. And then Heather was trying to get in contact with Eli to be like, yo, like, I'm pregnant, like, with your baby, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? Can we meet? Like, can we do something? And Olly got the message and then started replying as Eli, and just rejected her completely and essentially told her to fuck off. And this caused about her suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had to go through a lot. Obviously, her mother finding out about what she was doing, who she was hanging around with. And, you know, Eli running away from the situation. Because obviously they got caught, and Heather's mom was telling him how he's just an animal and inhuman and he shouldn't be around his daughter and all type of shit. But he was willing to meet her anyway. And yet Olly kept them from meeting because he thought, oh, she's just lying just to meet up with him, and I'm not gonna let her change him. Again, this kind of bites into that jealousy. I think he hated that she was giving him so much attention. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's love, like, romantically. You think it was just like as friends. I think it was just a jealous friend, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm a jealous boyfriend, really. I admit it, cold-hearted. RIP Juice. RIP Juice. Boy, Righteous is a banger, by the way. So I think that's the type of situation that brought about Olly. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, and he just lived with regret. So he tried and more to be like Eli, to be, you know, I think it was all to hide away from the fact that he realized he probably caused Heather's death. When Eli discovered this, Eli found him and beat him half to death. And he smiled in that moment, but he thought that he felt fear for the first time. He thought he finally felt something. But what he felt, I think, was grief. It was, I deserve this for killing Heather. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably at that moment realized, I killed Heather, and if I die in return, that'll be justice. And then he tried to look for that feeling because he didn't feel anything after that. But what he didn't realize is he was just regressing his regret. You know what I'm saying? And when he finally allowed himself to accept his actions, he did what Heather did. He felt like that's the only way justice could be served, because he pushed his body to the upper limits to live up to his imagination of Eli, when really he was living up in regret. He wasn't even living. He was literally giving himself an excuse to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? But really, he felt like he should have died the moment he made Heather die. So that was his story is way more poetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like Macbeth almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like he finally got the power and he didn't feel so great. He realized, I'm stronger than Eli. I'm stronger than Warren Che. I'm probably not stronger than Joanne. Y'all saying, big boy Joanne. Y'all saying, but I'm not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? And that was the beautiful, chaotic, Anakin-like type story for Olly. And that's what Olly's story was. You know what I'm saying? It was different. And Jiho's is exactly how I explained. So, and Jiho in jail then. Let's talk about Jiho in jail. Again, he's already a psychopath. He tried to kill people. He tried to commit murder. And then he tried to cry wolf like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then when he got in jail, he was getting harassed and bullied and beat up and pushed even further beyond repair. And he kept getting self-isolation, went crazy, was fucking slapping doo-doo all over walls, was doing all type of psychopathic, crazy, schizophrenic, fucking all type of frantic things, you know what I'm saying? He had really lost it at that moment. And him losing it was just crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we saw with Jiho. And from then he became more maniacal, more psychotic, and he realized, you know what? I shouldn't have pushed Daniel. I should have got somebody else to do it. There was no regret in his bone. He realized every action he made, but he feels like his only flaw was doing the deed himself. Because doing the deed put him in trouble. Jiho has always been selfish. From the jump, you can go back and check out every chapter. This man has always been pretty fucking selfish. So I'm not as sympathetic towards him. I'm not super sympathetic towards Olly, but his ending, bro, was just so sad, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things where even though I know every action he did is unforgivable and is wrong, and he fucking raised child soldiers and he fucking did despicable things, but I still feel sorry for him. Jiho, on the other hand, I felt sorry for him when he first went to jail, but he just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse to a point where it's like, I don't know, Jiho, bro. You pretty much caused all of this for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can blame bullying only to a certain degree. It's not like you try to murder your bully. It's not like you try to push Zach off a building. You know what I'm saying? Even though Zach had changed and been so nice to you by that stage anyway, you pushing somebody that was always nice to you, always looked out for you, never said a bad word about you, out of jealousy. It's different, man. Anyways, been a boy, Premature to God. What do you think of this conversation? Do you see the differences now between Olly and Jiho, or are you more convinced now more than ever that they are the same? Anyways, been a boy, Premature to God, man. I'm out.